Hello friends and welcome to Mind Pyramid channel. Today we are going to discuss about the book Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin. Everyone wants to be successful in their field by mastering all the skill sets required. However, we need to have patience and consistency to learn new skill sets. Though author suggests that we also require right method or process to acquire new skills. Josh became 8 times national champion of chess in his school days, and then he quit chess and started learning Tai Chi push hands and became world champion in 2004. Most of us work hard to excel in our career, but Josh not even changed his career but became world champion in both of them. Josh was able to achieve this due to the principles he internalized in the learning process. You and I can use these principles to accelerate the development of skills and perform at the highest level. There are 3 principles based on which this can be accomplished. Principle number 1. Feel the fundamentals. Josh did not started learning chess by starting with all the 32 pieces in the board. Instead, his teacher started by clearing the board and just put king and pawn against the king. Josh got the feel about how these pieces moved and played with different variations until pawn and king felt comfortable, and that he added few more pawns and the knight and focused solely on the knight's movement and basis knight's principle, like working on a double attack, that is attacking 2 pieces at one time. After the knight's movement felt natural to him, he moved on to a bishop and then rook and then queen. He focused on each piece until he developed an intuitive feel for their value. By initially going slow and getting the feel of the fundamentals, he could pick up more advanced concepts quicker, which helped him shoot past most beginner players. To get a feel of the fundamentals of any skill, focus on one core concept and practice simple variation how Josh practiced different chess positions until it felt comfortable, and do not stop until the component feels natural or the technique you are practicing feels effortless. Only then start working on more complex process and techniques. Josh mentioned in the book that a figure skater should begin the fundamentals of gliding, turning and skating backwards. Then step by step, more and more complicated maneuvers can be observed while she maintains the sense of ease. Feeling the fundamentals is like building the brick wall. The wall represents the skill you are trying to develop, and bottom layer bricks denotes the fundamental component of the skills, and the gap between the bricks is the intuitive feeling you have for each component. If you just stack bricks on top of one another without applying the cement and without giving enough space to dry your wall will have a weak foundation, hence the wall will become shaky. Due to this, the height of the wall will be severely restricted. Principle number 2. Stay true to your style. Once you have internalized the basic, there is not just one way to master a skill, but there is a wrong way, not being true to yourself. Josh first gravitated to chess after watching chess hustlers in New York Washington Square Park play aggressive speed chess. He was drawn to their wild, aggressive, attacking style of chess. Everything Josh learned early on helped him to be a better attacking player, but in his late teens, he put his faith in a grandmaster with a very different style, a style of chess that suffocates the opponent by eliminating their option with perfect positional play. Josh compared this style with anaconda coiling around its prey and slowly killing it. This style was not meant for Josh, as he loved moving the game into a chaotic position and then finding a brilliant attack move between the chaos by trusting his intuition. But now he has been told to think like someone else by moving away from his natural inclination and trying to mold himself into someone else's style. His love for chess vanished and he ultimately stopped competing. To sustain your love of learning, you must stay true to your style. To find your style, focus on what initially drew you to the discipline that you are trying to master. What captures your imagination and interest? Oftentimes, the initial interest is a person that you admire. If you are a writer who gravitates to certain type of writer's writing, mimic their style for a bit, then expand to it to develop your own voice and thoughts. The core idea is to take the discipline you are learning and turn it into a creative expression or a uniqueness. In the book, Josh has mentioned that he believed that one of the most critical factor in the transition to become a conscious high performer is the degree in which your relationship to your pursuit stays in harmony with your unique disposition. Learning principle number 3. Invest in loss. In the summer of 94, Josh was midway through the final game of the Under-18 World Chess Championship, and his opponent offered him a draw and a chance to share the World Championship. But Josh declined and pushed for the win. Soon after declining the draw, his position fell apart and he lost the game. Josh was heartbroken, but he used his pain as a fuel to intensely study the game he just lost, and after 10 hours of study, he uncovered a critical strategic move in which he could have used his opponent's aggression against him and create an opening for a counterattack. A decade later, in the final of Tai Chi Pushhand's World Championship, on the edge of defeat, his opponent's attacks were furious and overwhelming, due to which Josh felt helpless, but then he remembered the principle that he learned from the painful chess match many years ago. He made a slight adjustment and opened himself for an attack, which allowed him to use his opponent's aggression against him, and it worked. Josh turned the match around and took home the Tai Chi World Championship. Josh would have never invested so much time and energy into that chess match if he had not cared so deeply about winning and performing at a highest level. The art of learning is about enjoying the process of learning, but it also about putting yourself on the line, because the loss we experience while we compete provide the greatest insight and push us to get better. Loss generate pain, but the pain will provide the fuel to focus on technical and psychological error which we made and rectify them by getting better prepared. New and improved strategies and motivation to perform better. In the end, remember the 3 universal learning principles. 3 ways of learning you can use to rise up to the top 1% of the discipline. First, feel the fundamentals by isolating basic component of a discipline and practicing them until they feel natural, and then stay true to your style and choosing teachers whose style you resonate with. It's okay to mimic a style at first, but ponder upon it and come up with your own unique style by showcasing your unique personality. And lastly, invest in loss. By routinely putting your ego on the line in the competition and performance, when you perform poorly and lose, use that pain as a fuel to understand the root cause and accelerate your personal goal. As Josh said in the book, respond to the heartbreak with a hard work. This was the summary of book The Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin. If you like the summary, please give the video a thumbs up and comment below which book summary you would like next video on, and please subscribe to the channel and I'll keep bringing book summaries for you.